High school sweetheart betrayed me. My life shattered. Sarah and I, we were it. At least that's what everyone said. Prom king and queen cliché, I know, but it felt right. We grew up on the same block, learned to ride bikes together, held hands for the first time behind the bleachers at a Friday night football game. Our parents joked we were practically married already. Our wedding day, God, it was perfect. Late June, the sun was shining, the flowers were blooming. Sarah looked radiant in her white dress, her smile blinding. I remember standing at the altar, waiting for her to walk down the aisle, feeling like the luckiest man alive. Our vows, we wrote them ourselves. Hers choked me up, something about how I was her anchor, her best friend, the love of her life. Everyone cried, even my dad, who never showed emotion. We bought a house a few years later in the same town we grew up in. 2 stories, a big backyard, perfect for kids someday. I was killing it at work, climbing the corporate ladder in finance. Sarah loved teaching elementary school. Life was good, or so I thought. The first sign, the tiny crack in the foundation of our perfect life, was Sarah's phone. She started keeping it face down, taking it with her to the bathroom, changing the password. I didn't want to be that guy, the jealous husband snooping through his wife's phone, but something felt off. One night, she left it on the kitchen counter. I know it was wrong, but I couldn't help myself. A text popped up, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Read no name, just a red heart emoji. My stomach dropped, I felt sick. I confronted her. Who is this? I asked, my voice trembling. She looked at me, her eyes wide with innocence. It's just Ashley from school. We're working on a project together. Ashley, okay, I knew Ashley, she seemed nice enough. But something about Sarah's tone didn't ring true. I wanted to believe her. I really did. But the unease lingered, a constant gnawing in the back of my mind. Then came the late nights at work. Sarah claimed she had extra tutoring sessions, meetings with parents. I started calling the school just to check. Sometimes she was there, sometimes not. I confided in David, my best friend since kindergarten. He was always the level-headed one, the voice of reason. Maybe you're overreacting, Mark, he said. Sarah loves you. You guys are solid. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. Then there was Michael Peterson, a family friend, practically an uncle figure. He was always around barbecues, holidays, birthdays. Successful, charming, a little too smooth. Sarah always seemed to gravitate towards him at parties, laughing at his jokes, hanging on his every word. I thought it was harmless, just friendly banter. Until I saw them together, alone, at a local restaurant. I was there for a business lunch and they were sitting in a corner booth, holding hands across the table. Their eyes locked, a look of intense intimacy passing between them. My blood ran cold. I confronted Sarah again, this time armed with more than just suspicion. I saw you, Sarah, with Michael. She denied it at first, her voice shaking. But I pushed, I pressed, and finally she broke. It just happened, she sobbed. I didn't mean for it to happen. What happened? I demanded, my voice rising. Tell me what happened. We kissed, she stammered. A few times, that's all. I didn't believe her, I knew there was more. I hired a private investigator. I know it sounds like something out of a movie, but I needed to know the truth. The investigator came back with photos, videos, a whole damn dossier. Sarah and Michael, holding hands, kissing, going into hotels. Over the past year. A year. My world shattered. The rage that coursed through me was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. I wanted to scream, to break things, to hurt someone. I wanted to hurt her. I confronted Sarah with the evidence. She didn't deny it this time. She just sat there, silently crying. How could you? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. How could you do this to me, to us? I don't know, she said, her voice muffled. I was unhappy. I felt neglected. I worked my ass off to provide for us, to give her everything she wanted. I thought we were happy. With him, I asked, my voice laced with sarcasm. You were happy with him? She didn't answer. I kicked her out that night. I couldn't stand to look at her. The divorce was a nightmare. Lawyers, paperwork, dividing assets. It felt like everything we had built together was being ripped apart. I started seeing Emily, a therapist. She helped me process the anger, the grief, the betrayal. She told me it was okay to feel what I was feeling, that it was a normal reaction to trauma. I reconnected with my family. My mom was heartbroken. She loved Sarah like a daughter. My dad, ever the pragmatist, just shook his head and said, I always thought she was a little too good to be true. David was there for me as always. We went out for beers, watched sports, tried to distract me from the pain. But nothing really helped. One night, Lisa, David's girlfriend, came over. She was always quiet, observant. Mark, she said hesitantly, I don't know if this will help, but I saw Sarah and Michael together a few times, years ago, before you were even married. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to cause trouble. Years ago, before we were married, the realization hit me like a ton of bricks. This wasn't just a midlife crisis, a moment of weakness. This had been going on for a long time. The anger returned, even stronger than before. I wanted to confront Michael to expose him for the snake he was. I found out he was speaking at a business conference. I went there, waited for him to finish his speech, and then confronted him in front of everyone. "You're a piece of shit, Michael," I yelled, my voice echoing through the room. "You had an affair with my wife." He tried to deny it, to brush it off, but the look on his face told the truth. His wife was there in the audience. Her face crumpled. Security escorted me out. I didn't care. I had said what I needed to say. The divorce finalized. I sold the house. I couldn't bear to live there anymore, surrounded by memories. I started going to a new bar, a quiet place where I could just sit and drink and think. The bartender, a guy named Tom, was a good listener. He didn't pry, he just offered a sympathetic ear. Then I met Jessica. She was a coworker, smart, funny, attractive. She knew about my divorce, about what Sarah had done. She didn't judge, she just listened. We started going out for coffee, then dinner, then more. I was hesitant at first, afraid of getting hurt again. But Jessica was patient, understanding. She showed me that it was possible to trust again, to love again. One evening, about a year after the divorce, Jessica and I were at a restaurant. I saw Sarah and Michael walk in. They looked happy, content. They were holding hands, laughing. A wave of nausea washed over me. The anger, the pain, the betrayal, it all came flooding back. Jessica squeezed my hand. "Are you okay?" she asked. I took a deep breath. "Yeah," I said, "I'm okay." I looked at Sarah, at Michael. I saw their faces, their smiles, and I realized something. I didn't hate them anymore. I didn't even pity them. I just felt nothing. They were no longer a part of my life. They were just two people living their own messed up story. I turned to Jessica and smiled. "Let's get out of here," I said. "I know a better place." We walked out of the restaurant, hand in hand, into the night. The scars of Sarah's betrayal would always be there, a reminder of the pain I had endured. But they no longer defined me. I was moving on. I was healing. I was learning to love again.